Hello, friends. Robert Bevan here, author of the Caverns and Creatures series of comedy, fantasy novels, and short stories. With me is Sam West, and we are going to be talking about the spell Healing Word. Sam, am I correct in thinking this is one of the few, if not only, healing spells you like?
I would call Healing Word and Mass Healing Word the only healing spells you'll ever need. That's what I think these are. If you're a druid, Goodberry plus Friend is the only healing spell you ever need. But Healing Word, as far as healing magic in D&D goes, if you're playing the cleric, if you've been relegated to be like, oh, we need a healer, can you do it? Just take Healing Word and ignore everyone else's complaints, because this is good enough.
All right. So I'm looking at it, and what does it do? It heals 1d4 plus your. Oh, all right. Yeah, well, we'll get to that. But 1d4 plus your spellcasting ability modifier. And that is not a touch effect. That's a range of 60 feet. And all right, we'll kind of jump the gun there, but it is a bonus action, not an action.
Correct.
And that's all right. That's a big thing.
Yes. Everything about Healing Word that makes it good is a series of effects that compile together to be as useful as you need it to be. So I think the best way to start with this and explain why I think this is the only healing spell you should take and why you should never, ever consider taking Cure Wounds is comparing the two. So Cure Wounds is a touch spell that heals more than this. It heals 1d8 plus your wisdom modifier instead of 1d4 plus your wisdom modifier. Numerically, the difference between a d8 plus what we're looking at is an average of 3, because that's what most starting characters have, is a 16, and their highest stat clerics get the spell. It's normally 3. Druids also get Healing Word, so don't take Goodberry as Druid, just take this. You can basically get the difference between a d8 plus 3 and a d4 plus 3 is Cure Wounds versus Healing Word. The average of a d4 is 2.5. The average of a d8 is 4.5. So you're looking at 2 extra hit points on average for having to touch the creature, for having to spend your action, and for having to be within range of that creature, right? It's kind of like synonymous with touching, but they're slightly different. So this leads you to a situation where when you want to use them, should be clearly different. You should want to use Cure Wounds whenever you want to restore more hit points and can be in the thick of it. Hypothetically, the spell is better at reducing total damage taken and giving more actions that way. And Healing Word is better when you just need a little bit of juice to give to somebody. The reality of 5th edition combat is the only time you want healing is when you want to give them the little bit of juice. The difference between being at 1 hit point and being at 99 hit points from an action economy standpoint, which is the most important element of combat in 5e, is non-existent. There is no difference between how you perform with 1 hit point and how you perform with 350 hit points. You functionally can take the same actions, you can take the same movement, you have no penalties for being low on HP, making HP something you only ever want to get more of whenever you cannot take actions, whenever you are at 0 and you are functionally useless. If you use the cleric's action to cast Cure Wounds, they are trading an action to give you a turn if the creature's unconscious, right? If they use Healing Word instead, they are using a bonus action to give you an extra turn. And the difference between an action and a bonus action is gargantuan. It is the difference between taking the help action as the minimum. It's the difference between taking an attack, casting a cantrip, doing any series of other things that can be useful to ending an encounter, making it so much more powerful to have that action over, as we discussed, an extra 2 hit points. In addition, Healing Word hits 60 feet, so you can have it so you don't have to jump into imminent danger to get the barbarian's ass out of trouble. It can be it so you can conceivably, if your hands are tied, still heal people with Healing Word by using just the verbal component. If you're out of combat, you probably just want to take a short rest to heal, and you probably don't want to spend your precious spell slots on healing. Healing should really only be done as a means of getting back your actions. Any more of them that, you are lengthening the duration of an encounter that you could otherwise be ending faster with proactive spells.
That's the best defense is a good offense.
Precisely. There's very little reason to want an extra 6 hit points whenever you could attempt to kill something with an extra 40 damage, right? If I'm casting Guiding Bolt for 3d8 damage or Cure Wounds for 1d8 plus 3, reducing the enemy HP by 3d8 can kill them, can give my allies benefits to killing them, can do a whole other suite of things. So there, alternatively, giving it a living creature an extra D8 3 plus 3 hit points has no meaningful impact on the encounter at all. There's a chance the encounter ends, they don't get hit again. And you've literally wasted actions that you could have just spent casting handers killing people. Healing magic is specific. Healing word does its job good enough. There's no reason to take anything else.
Yeah, I mean, I know you've been wanting to say this for a long time. Does
I
it feel good to get it off your chest?
Yes, it
All
is. Right. If ever we're in the future and I'm discussing healing magic, I'll just be like, go watch Healing Word. I say it relatively concisely. Don't take things that aren't Healing Word. It's really that simple.
Yeah. I don't think I have anything else to say about this. You want to give it a Sam score?
Healing Word is a 4 out of 5. I would almost give it a 5 out of 5. It's just you still don't technically need it in a lot of groups. A lot of times resting is good enough. That being said, bringing creatures off of 0 is very powerful. And in games that are especially going a little bit harder and trying to kill players a little bit more actively, having access to it can give you really large advantages by just getting people off 0 at a distance. And that is why it's a great spell.
All right, I've got nothing else to add. So
nice quickie, little short Healing Word, not all that fancy.
No, but still, I think I agree with you. The difference between that and spells like Cure Wounds, I haven't given it a lot of thought, to be honest. But if I had and I disagreed before, you would have convinced me.
Huzzah!
All right. Well, thank you, Sam, and thank you, everyone, for joining us. We will see you next time. Goodbye. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, informative, or entertaining, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button below. You needn't smash it. A gentle tap will suffice. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel. And make sure you check out the links in the description, where you'll find my Caverns and Creatures series of comedy fantasy novels, Sam's full review of the spell, and other fun things.